Last time on Lawful Stupid. We're going to do it a little bit differently this time. Normally, we make Devin struggle, or one of the other boys struggle, but this time, I'm going to take us back into the story. But before we get there, before we get back on track, it's good to record again. It's been a really long time for us. Not long for you listeners.
Yeah. Everyone gets it like, next week. It's been a month.
Yep. And for those of you listening to this episode, you heard what happened last time, and these boys have had to sit for a month.
Yeah, and that episode hasn't released at the time of this recording, so we haven't got a chance to go back and listen to it.
Yep, which is even better. So I love everything about it. So, are you guys ready to just jump right back in?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes. I think I'm ready. God, I don't know if my body's ready.
I'm not sure if
prepare your bodies.
I'm not sure if well, say my body's so ready.
This is good audio listening. Yeah. This is good podcasting.
That's the part your parents walk in on.
Oh, all right. Where we left off last time, the freeze frame that I want to paint, and then we'll work a little bit backwards, is Atlas running full rage mode into a city he has just learned that is besieged by these new invaders. Prior to that, Kristoff makes his way away from a very tough encounter with the Reclaimer. Tough physically and emotionally for Kristoff, specifically the morale of the group. I think and I'm going to speak for the team, they can always correct me, but I think there was some bonds tested during this encounter with the Reclaimer. It was
tested and broken.
It was very interesting to see the character development at that point. And so Kristoff comes back to Oxbane, looking to complete his mission, looking to see some faces that he trusts and remembers, only to come upon one of these invaders, these ginormous invaders. And he's taken by surprise with what he has to face and almost overpowered until the familiar face of Chiringa comes to his aid.
Chiringa!
Eventually the boys all catch up in a haste, and Chiringa kind of explains what happens, what he believes the truth to be and how everything happened. And upon learning that Yarg perished, or that, spoilers, right? That Yarg may be dead, that's certainly Chiringa's interpretation that Yarg is dead. Atlas hears that and rushes in. So
Atlas rushes in.
That's what we're going to pick up on. That's what we're going to pick back up at. Atlas is running in full bore rage mode towards the gates of the town. Chiringa, the tiefling, the two halflings, and Rowan and Kristoff are sitting at the tree line. Since Atlas acted last and is charging into the city, boys, what do you want to do?
Oh, God. All right, Chris, let's go.
Where are we going?
We're going with Atlas. We're going to the city.
He just almost got us killed, and now we're going to follow him into more danger? I don't know about you, my dude. I'm not looking so hot. You're bleeding profusely out of every orifice visible.
Oh, I'm not saying we're going to get out of this, or this is going to be great, or we're going to win. That's what we got to do.
I disagree.
And Chiringa looks at you, Kristoff, and says, I'm not sure what happened between you guys, but Kristoff, why would you not save Atlas?
Listen, Chiringa, it's complicated, and I don't want to put that evil on you, because you are dear and sweet. and I don't want you to be touched by the darknesses in this world. But just trust me when I say that currently he is not on my top 5 list of favorite people.
And Tringa looks at his squad mates and looks back at you and says, we're going to go after him. They trust me with their lives. I would run for any of them. We have to go help Atlas. If you want to stay behind, Kristoff, I understand.
All right, hold on 1 second. I start rummaging around in my bag. I produce 2 potions of healing. I hand one to Rowan, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that where we wrap around the elbows, and we do the drink together, and we drink up the healing potions.
The 2 halflings are staring at you guys let
them stare.
And Sharinga looks at the halflings and gives them like a head shake, and with a hand that's kind of sideways and mediocre, like a you don't really want to ask right now.
It's a special.
And Sharinga says, "If you guys are done," and then points towards Atlas. Go ahead and recover your health.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel that.
Not bad.
Everybody's good to go. Yeah. So, I feel like I never do this justice, especially post-op. So, Shane, can you play me in?
Doodle-doo.
Perfect. Atlas. They're discussing, while they're doing this, you reach the gate. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
That is a 9.
You rush through the gate. You see ruins as far as you can see. This city has been massacred from the position of the gate. Where do you want to go?
I'm running straight to the Golden Hammer.
Perfect. So you rush through, you see debris. Most importantly, you see bodies. The streets are littered with citizens, faces you recognize, though you don't know their names. People you've seen in passing, whether they're small children or women or people you saw at the bar, and I like to think Atlas would never just trot on their bodies. Rage mode or not, you're making your way around them as fast as possible or jumping over them, striding. Correct me if I'm wrong, that just seems like something you would do. Respect the dead. And you have both weapons. You're swinging them head height as you're pumping your arms to move, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
19.
And while your tunnel vision is blurred with red, blurred with anger, you see the blade coming chest height, and you do a baseball slide, and you slide through the ground, unfortunately kicking some dead bodies, and over you stands, not over you, but across from you as you slide by stands one of these large monsters, and you have a choice. You can move or you can fight. Take a pick.
I'm still running toward the Golden Hammer. I don't care about this thing right now.
So the first one swings. You don't even see the second one. He swings and he misses as you're sliding. And you come back to your feet and you're charging. You can see the Golden Hammer and you can see the roofs collapsed. You reach the door. Alright, let me ask, how do you want to approach? Front door, back door? How do you want to try to get in? This is your show.
Closest door, gonna take both weapons just to if the door's if it's not gonna open up, right, I'm just gonna smash through it.
So you want to try to open the door first, right? You're not trying to just bash through, or I'm asking how you think you would approach.
You know what? I'm full right. I'm gonna shoulder smash this door. I'm not gonna try to stop.
Okay, go ahead and do a strength check for me.
Good rolls today. That's a 22.
So you're pumping your fists, weapons in hand, and You don't even think about opening the door. You turn, lower your shoulder, and go through. The wooden door shatters. It falls through the hinges, or excuse me, let me re-explain. The hinges break, the door buckles, and it falls down. You lose your balance and kind of stumble with the door because it doesn't shatter where you can just go right through it. It just falls. You quickly recover to your feet, and your rage mode fades. And you see your mentor. You see Yarg. And he's slumped over the anvil. The very anvil that you two have spent time and time again working on spears and swords and shields and even shovels. And you approach him. What do you do?
If is he like face down?
He is hunched over the anvil. You are looking at his back. Like his feet are on the ground.
I drop both weapons. I'm gonna drop both weapons and pick him up, like cradle him in my arms.
Like so, imagine that he is like it was like he was standing against the anvil, and now he's slumped over it. So you're just gonna pick him up from the back, or are you like?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him off over it and then into my.
Oh, okay, and then kind of cradle him down. Okay, got it. So
yes,
you pull him up. You pull him up off the anvil, and then you kind of lean him down, kind of like you would if you were dipping somebody in a dance, right? And so you can kind of see him. And at first, everything looks right, because you're still pumped, and the adrenaline's still in your body. You don't notice how heavy he is. You quickly realize his eyes aren't moving. His chest isn't moving. And he's a lot heavier than he should be. He has that dead weight to him. And in Atlas's arms, Yarg sits, or Yarg lays. Lifeless.
I'm gonna fall to my knees, holding him, and say, Yarg, you can't go right now. Please wake up. Please wake up.
And there Atlas sits, staring over his mentor, calling out to the gods, calling out to the empty forge, calling out to anyone who will listen. But Yarg doesn't respond. And so, as Atlas sits there, wrapped in his own grief and the silence of everything around him, despite the noise of the footsteps and the beating of the hooves, not hooves, but the beating of foot against ground, the world is zoned out for Atlas. It's almost like nothing else matters. Until the two monsters he passed by catch up with him. And they hunch down and crawl through the door. While Atlas thinks about what he wants to do, we're going to go back to the other Lawful Stupid boys. And we pick back up where they are healing potions, and Chiringa says, "Let's go!" And he leads the charge, sword drawn, and the two halflings rush right behind him, and the bard waits for a moment, watches you two, and kind of gives a shrug, and chases after them. And I assume you guys are in tow, right?
Well, first, I put my hand on Chris's shoulder, like, look, I know that you feel like he's betrayed your trust, but for somebody that basically stole the life savings of his father and, you know, kind of got us all framed for murder, but he stuck by us, it's worth giving him a shot right now. I need your heart to be in this.
I wouldn't miss him if you died, I guess.
See, just a little bit. That's all I need. Let's go.
Nice. So you guys rush in, right? Or you guys follow?
Hate running.
Yeah. It's a chore. I hate it.
I really need to learn to teleport.
Teleport and levitate. That's what I need.
So your group charges after. You are rushing through this city. You're full bore for what can be you. Do me a favor and roll perception checks as you're running through the gate.
I would love to.
Oh, mine's really bad.
Big Daddy rolled a 16.
11.
All right, Shane and Atlas, or Rowan, you both see the ruin of the town that I described to Atlas. You see that it's definitely been under siege. You see the bodies. Kristoff, thank you. Sorry, my bad. Kristoff, the difference in your checks is you can hear off to the north, the sound of battle. You hear sword against shield, sword against sword. You can hear magic spells being fired. And you can tell that there's a battling raging on right now. And Chiringa gets to the gate, and you kind of get to the open pouring, and he says, he had to have gone to the shop, and runs that direction. And his squad follows.
He's right.
Kristoff,
Chiringa, what's going on to the north? I hear combat.
And Chiringa says over his shoulder as he's running towards Yarg's shop, it has to be survivors.
We gotta get Atlas first. We're stronger as a group. We know he survived.
Time is of the... Fine, let's go.
And you see the ragtag 4-teamed group of Chiringa, the tiefling, and the 2 halflings about 30 yards ahead, and you see the half-elf and the tiefling having a discussion. You can see the doubt on the tiefling, and then the 2 follow. And you guys are making your way to Yarg's shop.
As we're running, if you guys wanted to go check on that, we can get our boy. I'm just saying, if you've got stuff over there in the north, and we could split, that's fine with me.
And Chiringa says, and leave Atlas behind? I would never.
No. Me, Rowan, Chiringa, Operation Big Orkman. Other tiefling, not so stoked that there's another one, whatever. Other tiefling, 2 halflings, Operation Save the Survivors to the north. And then we meet up at the Golden Bottom.
And Chiringa says, we're not splitting up. Haven't you seen any play that involves horror and death?
No.
Oh, you never split the party.
And then you hear Chiringa through panted breaths. Oh, you should really watch one then. They're great.
No, I don't. Usually we do parables in silence. Oh, hey, look! We're here at the Golden Hammer.
As you guys are marching, we're gonna go back to Atlas. Atlas, you're holding Yarg in your hands, and these 2 monstrosities make their way into the shop. And as they stand upright, their horns are hitting the ceilings, and they're both holding these comically large swords. What do you do?
Immediately pick up Ilaria and swing uppercut at the first one that's there in rage. I'm going to be in rage mode when this happens.
So mark it for your calendar. That's the second use, right? Because those are individual uses. And
yes.
One thing I want to know, Atlas, as you pick up Ilaria, you can feel the excitement from the blade, the just pure joy of battle. And you swing uppercut at one of the left, right. You got a preference?
Just closest to
right.
Whoever wants to go
Let's do right.
All right, roll me an attack.
Because 13.
Not gonna cut it, my dude. And so you come off your knees, blade in hand. You take Ilaria and put her, in both hands, and swing upright. And the monster grabs Ilaria by the blade. And you hear Ilaria say, "Oh shit!" And I need you to make a strength saving throw. Oh, you're actually going to be good on this one, unless you super roll bad.
You have advantage. You're in rage mode. You have advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, 18.
Oh, much better. Oh, that was close. Your modifier is going to be higher. So it pulls Ilaria, and you kind of stumble forward, and you picture. I don't want to speak for you. So anytime I speak for your characters to do a narrative experience, if I'm ever wrong, please correct me for the sake of your character development. But sometimes I get into it in the narrative experience. Anyways, so I imagine you see Yard in your mind's eye for a minute, and you pull back, and I need you to roll a 1d6 for me.
It's a 6.
And as you do so, Ilaria slides through the monster's hand, and you watch as the blade strikes, and the monster roars, and you see this black ichor spill free. And you see, out of the side of your eye, this other demon monster, Abomination, bring its blade down. Does an 18 connect?
It does.
Okay, so you see this other monstrosity bring its blade down on you, and it's going to connect. Well, it's going to be 18 in slashing damage.
So 9.
And as you're fighting these two things, the squad of heroes approaches. So now we're not doing an initiative fight, so this is going to be more interactive kind of combat. So you guys are up, you come in, you see these two demons in the doorway, or these two monstrosities in the doorway. I always say demons just because I'm fucking imagining WoW things in my head. But what do you guys do?
So I'm assuming they don't see me because I'm a rogue and I'm very sneaky.
Well, they don't see you because their backs to the door, period, at the end.
So
because you're sneaky too.
Yeah, absolutely. Also that. So I'm gonna pull out So I see the whole scene. I see Yarg dead. I see Atlas in trouble. I pull out my crossbow, and because this is an initiative round and I can do fun stuff. I'm gonna walk up behind one of the creatures. I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder. I'm gonna hold my crossbow level with his head.
Okay. So you tap the one that just is like its hand got cut, and it turns to you, but not just its head, its whole body, because they're that like lack of dexterous, so its whole body turns to you.
So as it turns around with the crossbow coral straight in its face, I go, "Yogg says hi," and I pull the trigger.
Roll with advantage. Just a ranged attack roll.
That is a 21.
That's going to strike, and do me a favor, and for giggles, roll 4x of your damage dice.
4x of my damage dice, you say? Including my sneak attack damage, because he's flanked?
I don't give... Yeah, go right ahead.
All the dice! I roll all my dice. 13. 6. 4. And 12 plus 3.
So what's your total? I wasn't counting.
Oh God! I thought someone else would be cool.
No! What is that rookie mistake? I heard 12 plus 3, 6, 21,
8 and 11.
So 49, 60 total? Does that sound right?
About 60.
Oh gosh.
About
okay.
60.
So the bolt strikes through to the monster's head, and it stumbles back and falls down. And the other one turns to you. Rowan, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, it's like the second I'm on scene after the shot. I yell reinforcements as my healing word to Atlas. and then strum my instrument for bardic inspiration to all.
Wait, hold on. There was a limit on that. Like, how many people?
I mean, if it's 3, then it's, the party.
Well, I think it was 3 or 4. I can't remember exactly. But I will say your boys plus Sharinga. I can't remember the limitation on the ability I gave you right this second. I don't want to slow down. Okay. And so this monster turns around and Sharinga runs straight up, almost in tandem, right? All 3 of your actions happen at once, right? Kristoff walks up and does a dead man shot. You come in and heal your boy, and then Sharinga leaps in the air and goes to strike this monster, but overshoots.
Did he take his bardic inspiration?
No, because the DM
it's really,
knows.
really bad.
Yes, the DM knows. And so he leaps.
Got it.
Yes, the DM is on your side. He leaps across and lands next to Atlas, and then turns around and says, "I didn't want you to be alone over here," and looks back at the monster, and the monster turns back to Atlas it turns midway to kind of look left and look right, now seeing that it's penned, and it turns and it swings on one of the halflings, seeing one of the smaller things it can do, and it strikes the halfling with the blade, and you watch the halfling drop.
Whoa.
The way this game works is next person to act.
It should be Alice, right?
Well, I'm not really trying to do it in a turn, because I don't want to do, like, the combat initiative. I want to make...
Oh, I shoot it in the dick.
Direct in the dick.
Okay, yeah, roll me a ranged attack roll. I'm trying to make this more fluid and not, like, suck up the whole one part.
17.
Alright, go ahead and roll me damage dice, please.
That's 11.
Okay, you shoot... you go to shoot it in the dick, and your aim is a little off, and you hit it in the stomach. It stumbles backwards, almost into Atlas.
I want to know, is there... So, looking around, is there a hammer that Yarg used? Do I see his hammer laying around?
I mean, there's hammers around, absolutely. But you look, and you see Yarg's hammer. The one that's like... So, if you've ever seen, like, a standard hitting hammer, that's great. You see Yarg's hammer that is, like,
perfect,
huge. You know.
So
that it's
I look at Tring and say, "Throw a spear into that thing's face," as I go to get the hammer.
And Sharinga looks at his sword and looks around and grabs, like, this thing laying down and picks up a shovel and says, "Close enough."
So
and
here's what I want to do. At the same time he's, like, tossing that up, I want to baseball with the hammer, swing this shovel through both heads, if I can, to at least one of their heads.
There's only one left. I murdered the other one.
So I don't... Wait, hold on. I don't understand what you want.
So
He's
he
gonna
basically
toss it up,
throw
and
a
I'm gonna
shovel,
hit the
right?
wood
So as
end.
he throws the shovel, he's going to hit the back end of the shovel and, like, force it through.
Got it. Okay. Not what I heard. But anyways, not important. So Sharinga, catching your drift way better than the DM did, picks up the shovel and tosses it up for you to strike.
Hammer
and you
meets
strike.
nail.
What?
Oh,
Hammer
gosh.
meets nail.
Yep. And it goes, and I need you to do a melee attack. I want to see how
Oh,
far
boys,
you
it's a
get
good
this
one.
thing.
It's a 22. 79. Well, yeah, okay. I don't get the extra ones. 22. That's that.
All right, perfect. Roll me 2d12. He's gonna roll
5,
unfortunately.
and it's 15.
Okay, great. So the shovel, spurred by the power of your excellent shovel making skills and Yarg's hammer, you see the shovel strike into this monster, and it's like deep in there, and it's sticking out. And the monster turns to Kristoff and is going to attack.
Can I also give you my D6 for damage for the aura that I have going? It's just a 1 extra damage. Yeah, it's just one.
I don't care. Yeah, sure, why not? And in fact, retconning, your anger throws lightning across this shovel as you hammer it away, and it looks super badass.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna assume a 19 connects.
It does. Just
Just a little.
I didn't say Ali Boombaye is the problem.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna take 32 slashing damage.
I'm asleep.
Okay,
I'm very asleep.
He turns and he strikes you, and you go to sleep. And at that moment, it's almost like seeing you drop awakens this squad of characters who, instead of doing what they had learned to do, were so enamored about saving Atlas. The gnome halfling, not gnome, the halfling jumps on the belly of this beast. And the tiefling, the male tiefling, starts casting spells against it. And Chiringa, remembering their strategy, jumps on the back and starts swinging his blade. And so, boys, Atlas, Rowan, you guys are seeing this ragtag, everybody jump on it at once kind of strategy go. What do you guys do?
Is the head clear?
That would be a more difficult strike because between you and the monster is Chiringa on the back, attacking from the top half of his back.
What if I use my jump boots to jump over his head, turn, and swing the hammer down on the head?
You can certainly give that a roll.
Is that a...
If you don't
That's
do
what
a
I'm doing. I'm
flip,
doing the
you're
flip
a little
because I'm gonna do a forward flip, but I have to turn to look at him in the eyes right before I smash his skull with him.
It's more of a somersault, right? Wouldn't that?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
like kind of
yeah,
jump
yeah.
and spin.
Yeah.
It's 16.
So that's an acrobatics. That is an acrobatics that you performed, right? I'll do it with advantage since you're using jumping boots.
Yeah, well, 16. Yeah, it gives me advantage. I have an advantage.
He goes, so 16. so you do that. You leap and you come over, and with your free hand, you kind of tap Chiringa to give him the heads up that you're coming down. And with the open hand, you bring the hammer down on this monster, and it starts to crumble. It goes to a knee, and you can see Chiringa's blade come in deep across the back of its shoulder blade, and the halfling is just stabbing this dagger in any open hole in the armor that it can find. And you see the monster fall to its face. And the tiefling casts a spell, and you see shadows like fly from his hands, and it hits this monster, and the monster stops moving. What do you want to do?
We're going to do a medicine check on my boy.
Wendy closes a door behind her as she crosses the glowing threshold. A man sits behind an old wooden desk, his hands a ruler's width apart. Between his hands dances blue frames of tiny dragons. I sent a request to you an hour ago, Wendy says impatiently. The man does not look up at her. Frost! Her voice stone cold. Kristoff is in trouble. Oxbane is in trouble. And you are here playing with magical toys. The noise comes from the man as if entertaining a small child. What business of ours is Oxbane? Frost asked, clapping his hands together and raising his eyes to meet hers. Oxbane could be the first of many cities if what Kristoff says is true. Wendy is clenching her fists, her face beginning to fill with rage. What if they come to Yuri? That won't happen, Frost says flippantly. Why not? She asks, flinging her hands in the air. What makes you think that? Nothing bad will truly happen. Not with that crazy old man still there. Findle? He nods. What about Kristoff? You know Findel's reputation. Kristoff who? The scene fades on an elf shrugging, his glacial blue hair flowing across his robes as he does so. Hey, it's Dwayne, your Lawful Stupid DM, and the whole team is coming to you with another product spotlight.
I smell adventure. I smell freshly baked wheat bread. I smell the damp, cold dank of a dungeon. I smell the great infinite arcanum in the hills upon the mountains.
Shane, are you still in your room?
I am!
How's this even possible?
Let me tell you about Cantrip Candles real quick. Cantrip Candles are an amazing product for the D&D person, fanatic, lover in your life. They're pretty great. They smell like adventure. Right now, I happen to be burning the Arcane Scriptory. That's probably what it's called. It smells like books. I feel like I'm a wizard.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna buy like 40 of them.
I'm definitely going to buy that one because Wizard and Sorcerer class is definitely my go-to anytime I play any type of RPG. So I got to have that. I got to have that like library smell in my house today.
Some people aren't giant nerds, Dwayne. And the giant nerds that don't play spellcasters all the time, like you and I, maybe they want to be more of an adventurer. Maybe they want to be a dirty mercenary with a sword as fast as death and quicker than also death. And maybe they want the vendor's bounty, and maybe it smells like copper and leather and rich rewards.
But what if you put them both together and you just have like the nice leather-bound chair in a library? It's just classy.
That I haven't thought about combining the scents yet, but Alex, you've just posed a dangerous question.
Hey, don't they also put D20s in those things?
Yeah, some of the bigger ones, yeah, they absolutely have D20s, and you burn the candle, and then at the bottom there's a D20. I'm pretty sure.
So
I haven't gotten to the bottom of any.
What if I'm not sure what smells I like? Like, is there something on? I can do?
You talking about a sampler pack, dog? Because they got
yeah,
those.
Absolutely. Oh, sweet. Well, that seems like for me, the noob who doesn't know what smells I necessarily like.
I don't know what smells are. My name's Devin. On behalf of Lawful Stupid Podcast, I don't know what smells like.
I actually just taste the smoke that comes up when you first light the candle.
They're going to be the first thing he ever smells.
Oh,
and
man,
the cool
I gotta...
thing is, they care about us because you can actually use the Lawful Stupid coupon code site-wide for 10%. Get that sampler pack, get that library, get that adventure smell. And I don't know the names yet, but that's because I don't have them in yet. I gotta go click, order right now and get my 10% off.
Boom.
It's basically free.
Yeah. We've established.
Yeah, pretty much just... That's good smells.
You're going to love the way your room smells. I guarantee it.
All right, go ahead.
I want to run over too, so as he's like laying there, when he looks up, he's going to see both of us.
A 16?
Yeah, so you
All right,
stabilize
and
him.
then I'm going to give him...
You stabilize. That's
give
what
him
I'm
the old healing word.
All right,
Today,
great. You heal him.
you're healed for 6.
Kristoff, you are...
I am Kristoff Shindo.
Yarn, you've done beautifully.
And Taringa goes, I didn't expect him to do that, and sheathes his blade.
Anyone get the number of that cop that hit
I'll say
him?
Kristoff.
I think that card's number's up, and I tap the body.
I want to look intently at Kristoff and Rowan. Like, I'll say, like, Kristoff, Rowan. They got Yogg.
They're gonna get him a lot more than that. Let's go.
Listen.
I want to find something to place over Yarg's body. Some, I don't know, sheet or something in the house. I don't know what.
There's a pelt of leather that you guys use for leatherworking. So you can
I'll take that. And as I lay him down, I'll say, I'll be back to give you the proper burial you deserve.
I'm going to walk up, put my hand on Alice's very large shoulder. So I'm
Way
basically
up
standing
there,
with
way
my
up there, yeah.
arm in the air. Alice, we're going to forge something today. We're going to forge a story. We're going to forge adventure. And we're we're gonna forge it for Yarg.
I wipe one giant orc tear away and stand up proudly. Yes, we are.
But before we do that, I need to take a nap. I'm hurt very badly. Look at that. Atlas, look at me. I'm so hurt.
You do look pretty
I don't
terrible.
have organs left.
Give Taringa the elbow, like, look at him. I knew they'd be like this. You just had to give him a jump start.
Taringa is like looking away from you and says, "Best of friends."
Look at he's biting his knuckle.
Taringa goes, "Is anybody else sweating in here?"
God, it's dusty in this shop.
Taringa.
Yeah,
There's dust everywhere.
yeah, it's real warm. And Taringa runs over to the halfling and checks and goes, "Oh." And what kind of wakes up the halfling and says, "That's quite a trip you took." And the halfling says, "That hurts so bad. I don't ever want to be the first person in the room again."
I feel it.
And Taringa says, "Okay, we need to go see what that battling was about.
Uh-huh.
There's other survivors. Are you okay, Kristoff?"
Nope.
No.
We're all knocking on death's door, but thankfully no one's answering.
No, but, Atlas is probably fine because there was this fight before, but he
Don't start that thing again.
We've already crossed that bridge.
Sorry. We're beyond it. Mine aren't. So I'm gonna look around. At least we need to get some supplies from the shop, right? So like maybe we double down on some gear while we're here, boys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yog would have wanted it, especially if we're going to help others in the city.
So there's two things that I'm looking for specifically. One is a whip. Is there a whip?
Yeah, but so considering Yarg is not a maker of whips, there's definitely one, but you can tell it was like used in farm work for sure.
I gave it a couple cracks, good enough.
Oh, it works, yeah, it super works.
I'm tired of not really having an answer for when people get within 10 feet of me.
I was waiting for you to say mouth off to you or something.
Whoop-ah! You have to say that every time you use the whip.
Whoop-ow! And then also all of the nails.
I'm gonna say that you have options here. You can scour the shop for a bunch of nails, or you can grab just like a box and you see like 20 nails in it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I just want to take the nails and Atlas, come with me. I need your help.
But we should probably hurry up.
Yeah, no, real quick, if you could just twist all of these together.
Twist the nails together?
You're making an old cat and nine tails.
Oh, why didn't you say? No, it's like I see. It's like a long link.
No. I'm not modifying the whip.
okay.
I'm making caltrops.
All right, I'll do that.
You twist nails together and they become caltrops.
Go ahead, do me a favor and roll a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. It's a 12.
Because I don't really know of another. Yeah, so you work on it and you fasten some of these together, and through your stumbly fingers, not working with such small things typically, you're able to make like 3 sets of caltrops, right? That it will spread for about 5 feet each set.
Sweet.
Chill.
Alright.
Because those are modified, what they will end up doing, and Shane, write this down because this is improvised and I'm not going to be responsible for it. And if I can't remember, I'll make it up again.
Responsible.
Is basically anybody in them is in that 5 feet is going to take difficult terrain or half movement speed, and they will suffer 1d4 slashing damage or piercing damage. Piercing damage. Every turn they start in that.
Got it.
Or if they pass through it, they obviously take that damage as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoop up a buckler. I'm assuming A small shield should be easy to find in the blacksmith. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you pick up a small
I
shield.
would do that and like, all right, boys. How far is 2 gnomes, 1 flask?
Oh, good call.
Are you asking me or the boys?
You. Well, because I've been there, so I would
sure
know.
because you said, "All right, boys, how far is?" And I was like, "I don't know." And it's not super far. It's probably like 100 yards away from where you are, maybe 150.
Maybe just pop in there real quick.
Drink a couple potions. Be right as rain.
Drink everything they have on the shelves, and then. I know they specialize in both poisons and potions, 1 gnome per each, but we're drinking.
It'll balance out somehow.
It'll balance. Got my uppers, got my downers. Gonna have a great time.
And when Tringa hears that, he says, "We can go, but I'm sure it's mostly been raided by now."
Worth a shot.
Listen, Turinga, I'm willing to take that risk.
It's 100 feet. We'll be there in 12 seconds.
I got really bad boo-boos.
100 yards, but moving on. Tringa leads the way, his squad and tail, and they head to the 2 gnomes, 1 flask. And
just point of order, what is today? What day is it today?
What day is it today?
Yeah, what day of the week is it?
In the player world? Or?
In the player world? In the player world?
Like a Tuesday?
Saturday?
Saturday.
Son of a bitch. Alright, cool. Cool.
To the listening audience, I will not be keeping up days of the week, so don't hold me to that. Just absolutely not.
I've laid some traps in the additional content of the website.
Great. Awesome.
No worries.
Moving on. So I just making sure nobody expects weird things like that from me. So Tringa stands guard, and you see the halfling that was wounded head into the shop, and Tringa says, "We'll keep an eye out. You guys do what you need to do, and then we need to move."
Raise right. Head in.
Yeah, we go in there and we look for potions of healing.
Okay, so one of the first things you guys see is that this shop is fucked up.
Yeah.
Shelves are busted, the counter's broken. You don't see anybody. And so go ahead and do an investigation check and look for some potions, boys.
13.
15.
11.
Oh, strong showing from everyone. Kristoff, you are the one who ends up finding some healing potions. You're digging through this rubble, Atlas and Rowan, you're doing the same. And you find a box that happened to be behind the counter, and just so happened that when the counter was smashed into 2 pieces, the box was wedged in a certain way that it was slammed shut, and you're able to wedge this box out, and when you open it, you see 2 large, shiny, pristine red potions.
I mean, you're feeling pretty good, right, Atlas?
I'm alright right now.
Alright, I'm drinking one immediately. I have 6 hit points. I'm drinking one.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a 1d20.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good for a healing potion, a d20.
Healing potion.
Natural 20!
20 HP?
There's no plus to that?
Nope.
Let's just say on a scale from 1 to 45.
Excuse me, it was the 1d20 really fancy health potion?
Nope.
Not good enough?
It transfers benefits to friends who also don't have a lot of HP.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Just roll a constitution check as a part of that potion. No.
It's a
Find something?
I'm not saying it's not good enough. I'm just saying that maybe I drank the other one right now. How are you looking, Rowan?
Sub 20.
Yeah, go ahead. You can have it.
All right. You sure you don't want it? Okay.
I'll take it, yeah.
So what'd you roll?
Rolled a 9.
Alex? So you drank this potion, and you see Kristoff. Kristoff drinks his, and you kind of see some pep back in his step, right? He's like, "Oh, this is great." And you drink yours, and you're like, I mean, it's all right, I guess.
A bad potion. I feel a little,
Yeah, it's a
refreshed.
Saying literally Literally, minor healing would have been 2d4 plus 4, which would have been probably better. But it's fine.
And then a demon bursts through the wall.
A
and
demon.
Kills Kristoff. It's weird.
All the
It's weird.
demons
No
show-
rolls. It's weird.
All the demons
Yeah. It's,
come out of his body. They were
that's
inside him
right.
all along.
That's true. And then the moral of the story is that really Kristoff was the danger of the group. So you guys take your potions. You ready to roll out?
Yeah, as
Yep.
ready as I can be.
We're as not dead as we can be before being dead.
And so you guys roll out of the building, and Turinga says, "All right, so we're gonna go, right?"
Yes, I will be in the back of the group stealth.
That's where I would want you. I don't want you up front. Those delicate little arms of yours.
You know, back of the group, stealthy as fuck.
So you guys made a path from the Two Gnomes Flask to the sound of the battle. And as you are heading that direction, you're stepping over bodies. And I like to think that you're moving with haste. Not sprinting, but moving with haste. You're stepping over bodies. And you see a familiar
Is it Stan?
corpse. Rowan? No. You see...
The priest? Priestess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you step over, you recognize her face down, and what you see below the priestess is a small child. And you can see that the priestess put her body between the blade and the child, but it wasn't enough.
Who's our biggest fan?
No. Do I recognize the kid?
It was not Sam.
Okay.
No,
it's
you
not
don't.
Dylan. Thank God.
Oh, I thought it was our biggest fan, Dylan.
I think it is.
And you guys are getting closer. You're hearing the sound, the same roar of combat, and you see this fight between two sides. And the numbers aren't even right. You're seeing 4 or 5 of these monstrosities fighting what has to be a dozen soldiers. Soldiers being different men and women, not necessarily in guards uniform, but they're squaring off and going toe to toe. And then over to the right of that battle, further off, you see 3 of these giant monstrosities, the ones you've been fighting, and you see Spawn. Just our Spawn.
No, those numbers are fucking right. Hell yeah, those numbers are right.
You're watching those 3. It's almost like it was choreographed. Every time they strike where he used to be. And you're watching him dance through their attacks and get in small hits as he's doing so. And then you see another fight outside of that, and there's 2 of these monsters, and you see Renoir. And Renoir is not holding his own well. He's deflecting attacks, and he's moving out of the way, but you can see that he's losing ground. He's constantly moving backwards. And then most surprisingly, you see a dozen of these monsters further in the distance. And as you look on, you see one engulfed in flames and it falls backwards. And you hear the mad cackling
That's fucking Findle.
of Findle. And he says, "Oh, is that all you got, boys?" And you see another one explode. And that's your scene as we close out this episode.
Choices? We've never made a good choice. Every choice
We've never made a good choice.
All of the choices.
It's been a bad choice. And we're going to make some more bad choices next time on Lawful Stupid.
It's good to be back, boys.
Nice.
It's good to be back.
Missed you guys.
It's refreshing.
Like the Superboys and the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the listeners. Well, they never left.
They never
They were always in my heart.
That's true. They were with us
We
the
did like
whole
a
time.
time never
in
stopped
our
for them.
hearts
It was
and
like time
minds.
travel.
Well, Careful, we have people that are real sensitive to that here. That's true. All right, well, I mean, I guess it's follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and we're really interactive. Go check out our comic.
Yeah,
Yes,
like that
the
comic.
comic's so
Go
good.
check out our comic on the website.
Thank you for
Oh my god, the webcomics are
for
good.
doing that.
Frumple
So
Grumps.
into it.
Frumps to the Grumps squared.
So good. We have a page on our site dedicated to the comic. As the quote-unquote web developer, it will get better. I just put it together. I'm trying to work out the technical solution that will make it even better than it is now. But for now, it is what it is, and they're up, and they're amazing.
So good.
Perfect. Well, we'll hear you guys next time.
Nope.
Yeah,
You'll
you'll
us next
hear
time.
us.
Even better.
No,
In
we'll
fact,
hear
if you're
we'll hear you back.
Actually, next episode is the listener episode where they all just
Where you guys entertain me for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Where we get on 4 random listeners. I give them the highlights, and then they
you
just
know
play
what?
for us.
As far as listeners
It's gonna
go,
be great.
if you like this, an iTunes review would be great. Or if you don't like it, still tell us. We can adjust.
But send in an email. Don't put it on the review. That's good.
No, put it in the
I can
review.
take it. No, put
Yeah,
no
be
put
honest.
it in the
Reviews.
But-
Be honest. Listen to this guy.
But if you happen to go onto our iTunes, you think we're a 2-star show. If you just happen, like somebody out there thinks that we're a 2-star show, if you were to tell us we're a 2-star show, tell us why. Tell us how we can be better. Don't just drop a 2-star and say nothing, because it hurts me and I stay
we want to
awake
be better
at night.
for you.
it's kind of like you broke up with us on a sticky note, but it just said "I can't," and then that's it. That's all we get.
It just said it was 5 stars and 2 of them were filled in.
Yeah, it's not
That was
even
the breakup
fucking
note.
life out, mate.
That was our
Nothing.
breakup note. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
So awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys listening. If it wasn't for you guys, this podcast would not be nearly as engaging and fun as it has been. So we will see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We love you.
We are storytellers.
We are creators.
We are gamers.
We are dreamers.
We are players.
We are players.
We are players.
We are DMs.
We are Nerdsmith.